the best speaker on this and having so many attentive ears to speak to. Thank you. So, I will just briefly tell you a little about Indian Grameen Services, which is a 25-year-old organization, part of the BASIC group, which is dedicated to livelihood promotion. And you will see three logos there: BASIC, Subkey. Subkey is an organization of the BASIC group which has commercialized the first product, not the first, the product of IGS, which was in the area of creating a transactional platform. Subkey is called Subkey because it's sub-K, less than 1,000. So it works in villages, even having less than 1,000 people, creating access to services at less than 1,000 paisa, enabling financial transactions of less than 1,000 rupees, within 1,000 meters of the customer, and typically done it through agents who are existing kirana shop owners or pharmacy owners, or they have some cash flow, they have some traffic of women, they have some footfall, and so they are in a position to service, use their outlets to service customers, about 1,000 customers again, in their vicinity. So, having said that, Indian Grameen Services exactly work on the basic model of a livelihood triad, where we work from the bottom left in livelihood financial planning. So there has been traditionally a lot of credit services, a lot of pension services, insurance and things like that, and banking services now. And institutional development services, where there is training, there is career planning, there is market linkages, and agricultural and business development services, where there is farmer education. There are about 9 companies under the basic umbrella. And Indian Grameen Services is the laboratory for all these. So Subkey was conceived because of the commercial opportunity using the transactional platform that has been created. And it's actually the transactional platform in the first stage looks like this. Now the first stage is about 3.5 years of work, 2 years of running it as a pilot, and the last 1 year of commercial success. In this transactional platform, we have a lot of boxes in the center and some circles on the left and right. Now this is a patented intellectual property of BASIC, and on the left side, customers in remote villages, sub-K villages, can interact with the rest of the world. You know, I really like what Mr. Satyarayana said about the digital dividend. Now to reach the dividends across to the excluded, to the underreached, you've got this whole platform which on the right side connects with any kind of a service provider or expert or organization. So to start with, the first year and a half commercial operation and pilot operation, 1 to 2 years, Jan 2011 to be precise. We have started with banks. We started with taking the core banking of Syndicate Bank, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, ING Bank, and a few other local banks. Taking the core banking to this platform and helping customers in rural areas to open accounts with KYC form details at the nearest BCO. The BCO is the basic convenience outlet, the kirana shop I was telling you about, we call it a BCO. Now, these customers, once they have their account set up on CPS for banking in about 2 weeks, depends on time the banks have typically offered us, are in a position to actually have the kirana shop operate as a telecounter for the bank. They are depositing, they are withdrawing, they are transferring funds, they are opening recurring deposits, they are checking their balances, mini statements are provided, and this device at the front end, I'm sorry for the subject, I'll just pull it up. Sandeep. So you're saying at our store, but since I'm here, I'd like to show it to you. It's an application that is developed for any Java-enabled mobile and works on the Nokia handset, because the Nokia handset works in Meridian, the 5-foot test, and it's got a Bluetooth connection with device which has a UID compatible sensor. So this is the fingerprint biometric authentication available to the customer. There is also the application built with a voice biometric authentication. I'm sure there will be a lot of questions about it. I won't go into details about that. But the customer can authenticate himself either way. And the application is preloaded on this into a Bluetooth connection. This is the receipt printer. So every transaction, simple as that. Once a transaction ID comes on the receipt, the same transaction ID is in the core banking or the bank server. So that's where we start. And next slide please. What we are looking at and what is the core of Vitran. Vitran is the service transaction platform, virtual transaction service provider, is to take this whole concept into multiple areas of the livelihood triad that we have. For example, in agricultural services, we are working, and these are various steps that IBS is doing. We are working on creating knowledge repositories. And those knowledge repositories would be a package of practices. And we are talking to knowledge that Basic Training Services Limited has, knowledge that IIIT in Hyderabad has, knowledge that various institutions in the agricultural sector have, and taking them across on a subscription service platform to the end customer. Now, whereas in this basic banking module, the end customer need not have a mobile phone because he just needs the biometric authentication and he needs a subscription ID number. But in the case of agricultural services, as mobile is only present, the customer can actually shoot a photograph, let's say, of a problematic problem in a crop. Relay that across through his BCO to Vitran, which is connected to a pool of experts, which can immediately advise on what would be the appropriate remedy for that kind of a problem. This can also be done in an outbound manner. Like for instance, if there is a flood has hit the geography, then what is the kind of crop that to be grown there, or what are the kind of substances to be used to mitigate the effect of the flood because of the kind of changes in the soil, can be relayed across to the entire farming community over there. So that is the practices are there. Then diagnosis of problems that I just described. Then tracking service. Now we have these livelihood service representatives all over the country, and a lot of organizations have representatives in rural areas. And for them to be able to capture MIS and information from the point of sale has been a big challenge for us. It's something that I will show you a short process diagram, but more we can discuss in stall. But even for the organization like Dabur, for instance, to know how much is done project to be reached across to sub-scale village is something that is impossible for them to tell. I've had several meetings with the executive director of such organizations, and it is through the mobile and through the fact that Vitran is capable of inventory management, knowledge management, and reconciliation of financial transactions that all these organizations can use the platform for tracking service delivery. And then again, it becomes a kind of community exchange. Sellers of, let's say, tractors and buyers or people who want to lease tractors can all be on that Vitran database. So these are some simple applications on the agricultural side. Next, career counseling. Likewise, people who have skills, let's say carpenters, let's say welders, and people who need those to use those skills. Let's say I myself, as IGS, need to put up my store banner, which say, okay, Axis Bank Services here. I can print the flex in a city, and I can just send it across with a lightweight thing. But I can use a different database to engage a local carpenter who would make the frame, and I can pay him for that. So what we're talking about is cashless transactions in villages. It goes straight to his account. Of course, Vitan is being used in a big way by dairies and cooperatives like that to pay farmers in a transparent and speedy manner. So the milk producer gets his money to the last paisa in his account, and he can go to the outlet and withdraw as much as he needs. Consequently, we've seen in 3 months' time savings of 1800 rupees in some districts of Bengal where we started the pilot. I'm not saying that's a standard, but in 3 months' time, 1800 rupees is a considerable sum. That's actually living behind. And so those kind of services where market linkages are possible. So there could be market linkages on the employment side, there could also be market linkages on the agricultural side. And other services in financial planning where the job of the DCO, the agent, becomes that of a person who's taking that village from practically zero in terms of how they save. Their habits of saving basis of so much of knowledge in how people save. People save in chicken because chicken multiply. People save in goat. People save in inventory because they reach the right across to the go down and do not take the money. They just say, okay, it's like I take your medical, it's now also based enough. So those barters and all. So now with the ability of actual cash amounts to be transacted, there's a lot of financial planning that can happen in terms of pensions, in terms of regular savings and other such things. So in this order, the last few minutes or two, I'll take you through some of the processes of what I've been telling you about in terms of extension. Next please. Yes, 2 minutes or so. So, like for instance, the subscription packages. Now these can be on text, on picture and on video, where the farmer and the BCA can communicate and the farmer gets expert advice directly on his mobile phone. Next. Now, crop problems. So here there is a huge knowledge base that is being created of problems and solutions for various kind of crops. And you see there's a damaged leaf below. And a picture like that is good enough for an expert to examine. And I did not mention, but very interestingly, we have also addressed the cost problem at the last mile, because the entire transaction can be done over GPRS, for which there is no requirement for the voice package, and that's a very cheap package on a VPS subscription. Some 50 rupees is all it costs per month. So for that, you've got multiple services that are coming in. This needs not use IVR and SMS, but it can too. Or it can just be in IP based IVR, where you have voice packets that are going out as solutions for farmers. Next. Then tracking service delivery. So this is extremely cost effective. It can be used in agriculture, it can be used in distribution, it can be used in various things. Next. Equipment information rental booking. So like you see near the word rental booking, you've got the people who register themselves with equipment to lease. And in the bottom you've got farmers who you've got the farmers who are talking to the BCO at the bottom. The BCO, BCSA, the arrangement, and the entire transaction and the knowledge management of what's available and what can be, what is the demand and what is the supply can be managed through this. So consequently, the rentals also, for instance, will become very cost effective because there will be multiple people on the database. It's something like just dial on the mobile. Just dial.com. So you get a choice of where to take your expensive farm equipment from. This will be very helpful. Next. So now here this is a complete employment exchange where you've got people who need certain labor or certain skills. Let's say I am a farmer and I've got my boy educated and he finished his college and he doesn't know what to do next. he can be registered with the BCO, which is again, like I gave you an example, Jazza.com on a mobile, Vitra is taking Monster.com on the mobile. And that explains it all. It's almost that. And financial planning, where we are actually helping rural customers manage their cash flow, educating them on methods and means of saving scientifically and in tune with one of the latest instruments available in the economy. So, and all this is being facilitated by a BCO whose qualification, other than the fact that he's got a shop and cash flow, is the fact that he can read the name of his own mobile phone. If he can read that much, he's good enough to operate the rest, and he's eligible to set up a shop with a pre-funded flow services. So that's it. So we have questions. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have a plan to have the full-fledged discussion session after the quick presentation is over. We are there up to 1:30 here. So, thank you, Sandeep. Anyway, this booklet never gave any indication that he is from basics. I know basics very well. The photographs are from North East, isn't it? I appear. No, this photograph. Okay.